Pedro Chamber of Commerce and our Board of Directors, I want to invite you to the 41st Annual Community Observance here at the Korean Bell. We gather here at the Bell every year to celebrate our nation's birthday with the tradition of ringing this magnificent bell 13 times, one time for each of the original states. As many of you know, the bell was presented to the people of Los Angeles in 1976 by the people of the Republic of Korea to celebrate the bicentennial, honor Korean War veterans, and to consolidate the friendship between our two nations. The 4th of July is one of 5 times each year that we gather to ring this bell to celebrate the birth of our great nation. Joining us today to observe this annual tradition is our Congresswoman Nanette Berrigan, State Senator Stephen Bradford, Assembly Member Patrick O'Donnell, and our very own Council Member Joe Buscaino, representing the 15th District. Thank you all for being here today to mark this very special occasion with us. I also would like to thank Ernest Lee and the Korean Friendship Bell Committee, the Korean community, and the City of Los Angeles Recreation and Parks Department for their ongoing support of the event. The council member, yes, thank you. The council member of the Korean Friendship Bell Preservation Committee and Recreation and Parks worked tirelessly to lead the effort to restore this wonderful treasure that we ring today. Please join me in welcoming Ernest Lee, Executive Director of the Korean Friendship Bell Committee. Ernest.
Thank you, Elise. Thank you, San Pedro. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a beautiful morning.
Yes, it is.
To celebrate the 241st birthday of our United States of America. Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday.
Just to recap, this bell was given to the people of the United States by the people of Korea 41 years ago as a gift to celebrate the bicentennial of American Jubilee, the 200th birthday. And you have to remember, in 1976, Korea was actually one of the developing nations with the goal of attaining an annual GDP of $1,000 per capita. But they reached far and deep back into their history to the glorious part where they were once united and reached for the symbol that would represent the depth and weight of their culture. Hence they reached for the divine bell of King Songdeok, which was cast first in 771 AD. And about 1,000 years later, 9 bell masters and about 20,000 people got together to forge the bell. And on May of 1976, they struck the bell and it split in half. So they rushed back, forged it again, and they were able to put this new bell, 17-ton bell, 8.5 feet tall, an exact replica of the divine bell. On the 4th of July, it got onto the port of Busan. Ambassador Schneider and Korean Foreign Minister Kim Sung-jun were at hand to bring it. And after a month's journey, and of course from January through October of that year, 30 artisans lived in those barracks, worked around the clock, and hand-hewn those stones and built this pavilion and awaited it to be installed. And October 3rd, 1976, the bell was struck for the first time. So we're celebrating a great legacy, great friendship, and great bond. So welcome, and I hope you will enjoy and celebrate with us today. Thank you.
Please stand for the presentation of colors. The colors are being presented today by the Port of Los Angeles Charter High School Cadet Color Guard.
place your right hand over your heart. We will do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I'd like to thank our honorary mayor, Dominic Costa, for leading us in the pledge salute. And now we have Karen Lee, who will sing our national anthems, both United States and Korea.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? 동해물과 백두산이 마르고 닳도록 하느님이 보호하사 우리나라 만세, 무궁화 삼천리 화려강산, 대한 사람 대한으로 길이 보전하세.
Chaplain Doug Williams of the Battleship Iowa will now lead us in an invocation.
God bless you. Happy 4th. Please remain standing, bow your heads. Well, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this glorious day, the 4th of July. What a sweet word, liberty, freedom. I thank you, Lord, that that is your nature, freedom. That you've called us to liberty and that you've called us to this great friendship between our brothers, our friends from South Korea and the United States, where we march on against tyranny, but also sharing friendships, love, and care between one another. I thank you for that bond becoming stronger and bigger and greater every day, even though the gulf between the Pacific is now but just a short space. But Father, that we can become more family day by day as we grow closer together in all the bonds that you've called us to. So Father, I thank you for this 4th of July. I thank you for the liberties that have been so precious that we've had to pay for with blood, and that we remember this day and remember those who were willing to stand on the wall. And I thank you for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Color guard! Retire the colors! Forward! On!
Trying to keep the sun out of my face by wearing the hat, but the wind and these hills just asking me to go bold. So, at this time, the greetings from our various dignitaries, and Congressman Bergen, Senator Bradford, Assemblymember Connell, Councilmember Wiscaino, Dr. John, and Vice President Mack. And let me introduce Jay Park, who's here in the program as a PICO Union Neighborhood Council President, but he's also been serving as the President of our Preservation Committee for the past 10 years, so I think he deserves a little extra recognition. At this time, I would like to welcome Honorable Jong-han Kim, Consul from the Consul General of Los Angeles, Republic of Korea, to deliver a brief greetings.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm deeply honored to be here this lovely morning to commemorate the anniversary of independence of the United States. Although the Korean Friendship Fair is only run 5 times a year, its toll constantly resonates in our hearts and minds, symbolizing the friendship and everlasting alliance between Korea and the United States. The people of the United States paid an enormous price for independence, as did the Korean people for our liberation. It can never be said enough that we Koreans owe so much of our survival and success to the United States. Out of 80 newly independent countries since World War II, Korea is the only one that achieved both a full-fledged democracy and economic development in such a short period. We sincerely indebted to the support and friendship of the United States for this huge achievement. I share Korea's success story today because it is also a success story of American values such as democracy and market economy. And we Koreans are so proud our ever-growing partnership with the United States of America. Last week, President Moon Jae-in and President Trump held a summit meeting and agreed to continue to develop a comprehensive global partnership. Whenever we hold the Korean Friendship Fair, we are happy to remind ourselves of the close and undying alliance between Korea and the United States of America. Happy Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Consul Kim. And I think had Consul General Lee had been here, he would have been also be very happy to mention that next winter, this coming 2018, the Winter Olympics will be held in Pyeongchang. And that officially makes Korea only one of, I think, 4 countries? I think one of 4 countries that's ever held not only the Summer Olympics, but Winter Olympics, but also the FIFA World Cup. Wow. Yes. And I think we're truly blessed here today because in San Pedro tradition, there are some things that we don't know about. But as I've studied the bell and its history, I've come to learn and appreciate all about San Pedro and its people. And one of the most amazing things that I had heard about San Pedro is that this was also a place where Lane Victory is constantly docked. And Korea's new president, Honorable Moon Jae-in, and His Excellency, his parents were actually one of the refugees that took that Christmas miracle boat ride for Hungnam. So had it not been for an American intervention, actually we would not have the same president. So there you go. Full circle. Full circle. So at this time, it is truly my honor to introduce to you two people. And I think the address will be delivered by only one. But please stand. Dr. Laura Jun, President of the Korean American Federation of Los Angeles. And Mr. Emil Mack, you probably know him from his days in the fire department. Vice President of the Korean American Federation of Los Angeles. And he's here to deliver his greetings.
Thank you. You know, I was struck by sitting here on this hilltop, and today we're talking about freedom. And there's nothing that could be more physically stimulating of freedom than the breeze that we're getting here, the flags that are waving. And to us, this is freedom blowing across our land and blowing across our faces as we sit here celebrating our nation's Independence Day. But freedom and friendship, we use them very easily. We use them every day. We take them very lightly. But on a day like today, we kind of truly think about what freedom and friendship have cost. And what we don't think about every day is how many sacrifices have been made so we could use these words so easily and feel them so easily as we do today. 241 years ago, American fought American and a colonial power for freedom. And since then, hundreds of thousands of Americans all over the world have fought for our freedom and others. And 61 years ago, Americans went to Korea and joined forces with a country struggling to maintain its freedom. And on the battlefields of South Korea, a friendship, a lasting friendship, an enduring friendship, partly why we're here today, has come. So today we want to thank the sacrifices of Americans, of Koreans, that have made us so able to speak the words freedom so easily. And to the friendships that were built on battlefields thousands of miles away on a small peninsula of Korea. So we thank everyone that has served, that has supported those that have served, and our two great nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. And we will move to he's the new president of the Korean Veterans Association of Los Angeles, and he's here with his members. Please welcome Mr. Wee Jae-gu.
현군! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the commanding officer of the Korean Veteran Association of the USA Western Region. It is an honor to have attended the 241st Independence Day ceremony of the United States of America today at a meaningful the Korean Friendship Fair. We celebrate the 67th Korean War anniversary a few days ago. with Korean and American veterans. To commemorate the Korean War every year is because Korea never forget Korea's ally, America graced to us. Only then did the American soldier bury the life of 33,000 warriors in Korean War to defend freedom and democracy in a country that they do not even know. During the time of the Korean War, the U.S. soldier and our veterans created continuous friendship and brotherhood between the two countries. And since there were U.S. soldiers stationed in our land for decades, an inseparable relationship has been formed. We always thank you for your courage and sacrifice, commemorate the legacy of the Korean War, and establish and sharing such a great and lasting friendship for years to come. Korea is a country of righteousness. We believe that you are our true friends forever. So it is a great honor to celebrate the great independence of America. God bless America. Thank you. 한국.
Thank you. And at this time, I would like to have the veterans in the group please stand. Are there any other veterans in the group? Please also take a stand. Thank you, gentlemen, for your services. And before we move to our next speaker, I want to talk to you a little bit more about history. Didn't mean to make it into a seminar, but in 1976, in January of 1976, at that time, the Consul General in Los Angeles was dispatched to the City Hall to negotiate a deal with the city because the federal land was being transferred over to the city for recreational and cultural use. So here's this belt that's coming in 7 months. Will the city accept it? And then Mayor Tom Bradley urged the city council to accept that gift. So by unanimous vote, the bell was assigned here. It was, and I know you know all about the history. So I think after that they were arguing whether they should put the bell. But and at that time, I think we had a councilman who is graced here today. Former Councilman Bob Farrell is here, the 8th District, and he's a living witness of that process and the bell coming. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Jay Park, the President of the Pico Union Neighborhood Council.
Welcome to everyone to come and join us for the 241st birthday to the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. We are all gathering here on this memorable day, celebrating for 241st birthday on this great nation. In 1976, commemorating the 200th birthday of the nation, the Republic of Korea government its people had given to the Friends Bear to the nation as gift. This wonderful gift will symbolize the liberty and freedom that we all cherish in the love. The symbol has much more significant and the meaning now more than ever, especially in environment. In this world that which we are living on this day, we truly appreciate it. Thank you all those men and women who fight for our freedom and the liberty so that we can enjoy our life. I hope the rolling sound of the bell will resonate around the world with the peace and the harmony and help our world unite and extinguish the terror and live in the freedom and the peace. And once again, As a president of the Peking Naval Council in the city of Los Angeles, and as a president of the Korean Friends Fair President Committee, I thank you and offer my sincere gratitude to all of you attending this event today, especially all citizens of San Pedro. God bless America. Thank you.
At this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce our very own Congresswoman Nanette Berrigan. Congresswoman Berrigan began her congressional career in January of 2017, where she is a member of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and the Progressive Caucus. She serves on the Committee on Homeland Security and Natural Resources. She is proud to represent California's 44th Congressional District, which includes the communities of Carson, Compton, Linwood, North Long Beach, Rancho Dominguez, San Pedro, Southgate, Walnut Park, Watts, Willowbrook, and Wilmington. The Congresswoman lives in San Pedro. Congresswoman Berrigan.
Good morning and happy 4th of July. First, let me add my welcome to everybody here today, my colleagues, my elected officials, and Council Kim for being here. Every 4th of July is another year of national life, and we owe that to multitudes of people who come before us and who will succeed us. It's a time to thank the men and women in uniform, to thank hardworking families, teachers, and our children, all of those who have served and participated in their country and community. On the 4th of July, we celebrate America and what it means to be Americans. Yesterday, I was at the USS Iowa for a naturalization ceremony where 41 children became American citizens. There were children from 13 different countries. Thank you. There were children from 13 different countries, everywhere from Korea to Mexico to Ecuador. It was a hopeful day. My own parents were immigrants. They came from Mexico. My mom had just a 3rd grade education, but came here so her kids would have an opportunity at the American dream. And that is part of what we celebrate here today and in the United States, our freedoms and the land of opportunity and the home of the brave. We are a nation of immigrants. Our future depends on remembering who we are, a mix of different backgrounds and beliefs united around the concepts of liberty and justice. Now, Americans have always been this way. What's great about this country is we've become more welcoming and recognize that there is diversity, and that is our strength. Today we celebrate everybody in America. This morning, here at the Korean Friendship Bell, we also celebrate the strength and partnership between Korea and the United States, something the bell symbolizes. Korea and the United States have a tight bond of friendship for generations that's transcended through the change administrations and beyond divisive politics. As we ring the bell 13 times today for each original state, we will hear the bell make a solemn and prolonged noise. Just a couple of months ago, I had the honor of traveling to South Korea, where I met with members of the parliament and the government. The United States has a long-lasting commitment to South Korea that includes more than 28,000 troops stationed there. I had the opportunity to visit our troops and to go to the DMZ, or the Demilitarized Zone. I've seen firsthand how our mutual commitment is a bedrock of international peace and stability, especially in these troubled times. Just yesterday, we heard that North Korea has launched its first ICBM. And so this partnership couldn't be more important and stronger than it is today. South Korea and Los Angeles also have direct connections in our maritime goods, through which billions of goods each year are shipped. We have one of the largest Korean populations right here in Los Angeles that are part of the fabric of the melting pot, which is Los Angeles. Over the decades, we have also seen Korea transform into a democracy and liberalize itself economically. This 4th of July, we have the past and the present and the future to celebrate together. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman, for being with us today. And we're very fortunate that State Senator Stephen Bradford's schedule freed up today, and he was able to join us. Senator Bradford represents the communities of Carson, Compton, West Compton, Gardena, Harbor City, Hawthorne, Inglewood, Lawndale, Lenox, West Carson, Watts, Willowbrook, San Pedro, and Wilmington. In the state legislature, he chairs Labor and Industrial Relations and is a member of the Public Safety and Appropriations Committee. Thank you, Senator Bradford, for being with us today.
Good morning. It is truly an honor to be here and celebrate the 241st birthday of this great nation and to rededicate ourselves to the friendship to the Republic of Korea, a relationship that has lasted well over 60 years. And I think it's timely that we rededicate our friendship, especially in the climate that we find ourselves today as a nation. So I'm honored to join our congressperson, our state representatives, and our local officials. I also want to thank Ms. Swanson for her leadership with the Chamber of Commerce for this invitation, and Mr. Lee for his great leadership with this bill and this ceremony. But I don't want it to be missed on any of us that despite 240 years of great progress, great achievements in the nation, there is still much to be done. There are people today who live in fear of deportation. There are people today who live in fear of exploitation. So we rededicate ourselves to the great virtues of what this country stands for: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and justice for all. I stand committed to that. I know all of you who have taken time out today to join us stand committed to that, and I just ask that we not only celebrate the greatness of this country, but strive to make America even better as we go forward. Happy birthday, America.
Thank you, Senator. Next, we have Assemblyman Patrick O'Donnell, who in 2014 was elected to the California State Assembly to represent District 70, which includes the cities of Long Beach, Signal Hill, San Pedro, as well as Catalina Island. The Assembly member currently serves as chair of the Assembly Select Committee on Ports, as well as the Assembly Select Committee on Aerospace, where he is championing efforts to grow the maritime industry and attract new jobs. Born in Long Beach, the Assembly member currently lives there in Los Altos with his wife and their 2 daughters. Join me in welcoming Assemblyman O'Donnell.
Well, thank you. As has been mentioned, I have the honor of representing this area in Sacramento. And, you know, it's a little windy out here, but isn't it a beautiful California day? Yeah. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful LA day, too. But more importantly, we're celebrating that flag and all that falls underneath it. Certainly, this friendship that we're celebrating here today falls underneath that flag, as does the freedoms we love and have every day. So I'm going to keep it short. I'm just going to say, happy birthday, America. Do we love this place? Yes, we love this place.
Thank you, Assemblyman. And now I would like to welcome Councilman Joe Buscaino, who was elected to the Los Angeles City Council originally on January 17, 2012, to fill the vacancy left by Janice Hahn following her run for U.S. Congress. Prior to his election to the City Council, Joe Buscaino served for 15 years as a police officer in the Los Angeles Police Department. He lives here in San Pedro with his wife, Jay, and his 2 beautiful children, and I know his daughter joined us in the procession today. Councilman, welcome.
Thank you, Elise. Happy birthday, America. It's great to be joined by each and every one of you and our neighborhood council leaders, our residents and visitors. We welcome you to our beloved hometown here in San Pedro. I can't stop but think and pause and remember one person who's not here with us today, and that's John Olguin. John, an amazing champion for us here who was Mr. San Pedro, and I'd just like to ask if we can just pause and take a moment of silence for both John and Muriel, who we lost this past year, and just remember the contributions he and his wife have made to this great town. Thank you. Let's give John and Muriel a round of applause, and they will never be forgotten, especially tonight during the John Olguin fireworks show at Cabrillo Beach we're all looking forward to. So thank you to Elise Swanson, the Chamber of Commerce, the Department of Recreation and Parks, as well as the Korean Friendship Bell Preservation Committee. You know, this committee, this bell needed a lot of work. And if you look at its vibrant colors today, its paint, the refurbishment of the bell was due largely in part to this committee who raised the dollars to ensure that we put a shine on this bell. And let's give them a round of applause again for never forgetting this great gift that was given to our amazing city. Thank you. A heartfelt kamsahamnida. Also, I do want to recognize in his first official capacity as honorary mayor of San Pedro, Dominic Costa, for joining us. Coach Dom, thank you so much. Congratulations on your victory. They're looking forward to working with you as your official capacity of honorary mayor. Where in the city of LA are you going to find an honorary mayor and not here in San Pedro? So Dominic, I know you're also joined by your lovely wife Pam. To Ernest Lee, Executive Director of the Korean Friendship Bell, thank you so much for your commitment. And Karen Lee, an amazing rendition of our Star Spangled Banner and the Korean National Anthem. Thank you so much. Kamsahamnida. I do, you know, Ernest made mention of some history with this Korean Friendship Bell that I'd like to remind ourselves. Obviously, generous given to us by the people of the Republic of Korea as a gift over 37 years ago and marked the occasion of the America's bicentennial anniversary. So the history behind the bell, as Ernest mentioned, it was you know, Mayor Tom Bradley charged the council, and Mr. Bob Farrell can attest to this. It was a competition between two council members, the late John Ferraro and the late John S. Gibson of the 15th district. So each desired the bell as a shining gem in their district and did everything in their power to get the bell to land in their respective district. However, obviously, Councilmember Gibson won the day over Councilmember Ferraro, and the bell was placed here in San Pedro. I was talking to Assemblymember O'Donnell earlier, and I believe this is the closest we're going to get to South Korea here in San Pedro, overlooking the Great Pacific Ocean. So on this day, 238 years ago, a group of individuals signed the Declaration of Independence. And this is why we celebrate today, setting in motion the freeing of the 13 colonies. And that will remind us as we ring the bell 13 times. And it's because of their bravery and willingness to stand up to an oppressive government that we're all able to freely obtain life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it is our endowment to continuing to following that dream and pursuing that happiness that drives us each and every day. With much sacrifice, we've been given the opportunity that not many have to follow our dreams and become whomever we want to be. We must not lose sight of the paved road our forefathers laid out for the rest of us. Freedom and the ability to pursue our dreams, no matter how large or small. So this, I feel, allows us to celebrate the 4th of July. I ask you today to pause and reflect and take a moment out of your barbecues, your family time, and during your fireworks show to, as citizens, remember how we are able in this great country to speak freely, to pray freely, to love openly, and protest freely, and all those who continue to serve our country, both here, home, and abroad, for these God-given rights and our American values. So I say, God bless America. May God bless each and every one of you. We thank you for the time, and happy 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. So as we prepare to ring the bell, Ernest, I think we have, are the drums going to play?
Yes. And you heard this morning's beginning, the great procession group, and here's a gentleman who comes from Korea, and he's actually considered one of the intangible cultural treasure, right? So he's actually here, based in Los Angeles, and he teaches young people this art. And I'm sure these children will carry forward the tradition long after we're gone, right? And I think that was a especially touching moment when Councilman Buscaino gave his flag to his daughter and his nephew and his niece, and they led us in the procession this morning. And this is what it's all about, from John Olguin to us and us to the next generation. We'll try to make tomorrow, well, today better than yesterday, and tomorrow hopefully better than today. Please welcome Master Kang Dae-seung and L.A. Dure-Pae. Virginia. You can ring it a little louder. New York. New Hampshire. Massachusetts. Maryland. Connecticut. Rhode Island. Delaware. North Carolina. South Carolina. New Jersey. Pennsylvania. Now, Georgia is the last state of the 13, but we would like you to ring it 3 more times and I will announce why. Georgia. For peace and unification in Korea. And for peace and prosperity in America. And peace and goodwill for the world. Happy birthday, America!
세계관을 위해서 하나